Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are going to clean, flint, and fuel up this vintage Penguin Cygnus short model advertising lighter that I found yesterday at one of my favorite antique stops here in town. This lighter is in pretty good condition. Has been cleaned up very well. It is missing the gasket on the fuel screw, which is not that big a deal. I think I may have one on one of my donor lighters over in the place in Mesta Park. So stay tuned. We'll find out about that when I do the regular show and tell video for this lighter. It does have the spare flint compartment, which is clean of old degraded flint. Looks like the original wadding, somewhat discolored looking. Not horrible, just a little bit yellowish. Because it doesn't have the gasket, which a lot of times on these pocket and smaller models was a cardboard gasket, then the fuel screw obviously goes down further than it should. No big deal, as I said, we'll get that dealt with. You can see the tip of the flint spring there against the file wheel, and when you run the flint spring carriage back, then you can see it back off of the file wheel. So it appears as though the flint tube is clear. We'll get a new flint installed in there here in a moment. This lighter does show some wear along the top and the sides. The advertising appears to be mostly present. The paint inside of that etched design does show other scuffs, scratches, blemishes, but altogether a really nice short model advertising Cygnus. Now I am going to take a toothpick and one of our common household disinfectant cloths and clean out the chimney area here. There is some carbon buildup, other debris, as you can see. So this lighter is definitely used. Nothing wrong with that. That's the majority of the lighters that I deal with. And actually, I think every Cygnus that I have in my collection now, since I traded the brand new one to our friend Friedrich for the slim Zippo Scrimshaw Ultralight from 1979, all of them that I have in my possession now are used. And of course, they're all in working condition. And I don't make a habit of using the ones with advertising because I don't want to take the chance of damaging the advertising. But at the same time, I am going to get this lighter into working condition and demonstrate that it does work before it finds its place on the shelf alongside all of my other Cygnuses in my personal collection. So just trying to get rid of the majority of the carbon buildup. And you can see usually it just takes rubbing it off with one implement or another. Toothpicks with the disinfectant cloths work pretty well. A lot of people like to use lighter fluid. I sometimes use rubbing alcohol isopropyl, 91% alcohol, whatever it is that you use, it's all about the same. Lighter fluid. There's people that even just use soap and water. That is fairly clean. And as I said, we're going to light it again, so it's not like I need it to be perfect. But I don't want the lighter to be unnecessarily dirty. And I also hope that we can get a hold of that wick and pull that up a little bit. That will give us a much better opportunity for ignition if we can. So we'll go ahead and try to do that now. Make sure that you're not grabbing a hold of the chimney, and then try to get a good grasp on the wick and just pull it up. I'm not going to worry too much about it being a little singed there on top or a little dirty. That is perfectly fine. If it becomes a problem with it lighting, then we may try to launder it like we did that Zippo Slim wick a couple of weeks ago. So we will fuel it, and this will give us an opportunity just to see whether it really makes any difference that these Cygnus have a gasket on the fuel screw or not, seeing how they don't last more than a few days with their fuel efficiency as it is. Try not to cause too much of a mess here. And of course, this lighter is not going to hold a whole lot of fuel. And it looks like we are past our saturation point, so I will shake that out and get the fuel screw back on. Our nifty thumb roller Flint tension mechanism here. We'll go ahead and back that out. This seller did an excellent job. This guy is new out there to that antique vendor mall, and I was thrilled when I walked in yesterday. She began waving me back there, and I mean, it's a really cool place. And one of my favorites, it's huge. I mean, got all kinds of old stuff in there, but not typically heavy on lighters. So to walk in there yesterday and find a Zippo rotating display that was full with reasonably priced lighters, and then to see all the other lighters that were displayed there. I didn't even take a video of the many trays that were underneath that cabinet, and then a separate table lighter display in the same booth. I didn't even have a chance to look at all the ashtrays, but I'll be back over there in the next day or two, have a little bit more video for you guys, and hopefully even find another lighter or two. Until next time.